I don't get it. When we first got married, you could punch out a breakfast like Mother used to make. Now you're all thumbs.
It's that time again. It's time for serial viewing. Episode 28. We watched The Jetsons this time, which ran from 1962 to technically 1987. We'll get into that in a little bit. For three seasons of 75 episodes. The Jetsons follow the misadventures of a futuristic family. George Jetson lives with his family in the Skypad apartments. His wife Jane is a homemaker. Their teenage daughter Judy attends the Orbit High School, and their son Elroy attends Little Dipper School, and the family dog is the talking Astro. We watched episode 1, titled Rosie the Robot, where the Jetsons welcome their new robot maid. Jeremy, this was one of your choices. Oh, sorry. Hello, Jeremy.
Hi.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
We're done with introductions this time.
Yeah. I just assume you're on the couch next to me now. This was one of your choices, Jeremy. Defend it. Why did you choose the Jetsons?
I hate it.
Well,
I chose Jetsons because I dislike the Jetsons. We have this thing where we had to choose an episode that we disliked, and I dislike the Jetsons.
Wow.
Because it is a rampant show of dysfunctional marriages and horrible commercialism. It's terrible. I'm sure some of the episodes are more lighthearted, but it's just annoying.
It's just annoying.
This is the shortest list of show notes I have had in any episode we've done.
Oh, really?
Because I stopped watching it.
You literally gave up.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was on, but I just wasn't paying attention anymore.
Wait, are you saying that crap Beverly Hills was better than this?
Yeah, because I could take the piss out of it. This just irritates.
I kind of see where he's coming from. I'm not going to get into that just now, but I can kind of see where that's coming from.
I understand that might not be a popular opinion, because this is quite an old and well-loved TV show.
Very old.
But for me, I don't like it. Never have.
1962 makes this the second oldest show we've watched so far. Beaten only by Bill and Ben. Sorry, the Flowerbot Man. So, obviously you'd heard of this one before then, Jeremy.
Obviously have. I've seen a couple of episodes before, and they were... I don't remember, actually. I remember picking it because I disliked it, but then I started watching it, I was like, why did I not like it? And then it got about halfway through and I was like, oh yeah, this is why I don't like it. It's just like, it's the same. It's not good, in my opinion.
Okay,
it's
Jeremy's
droll.
Jeremy's waving his flag early.
Yeah.
I assume you had heard of the Jetsons, Jennifer?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we would have struggled to get to our age and not heard of the Jetsons. It was one of the ubiquitous Hanna-Barbera productions in the 60s that then ran in constant repeat ever since.
Like the Flintstones.
Nicely mentioned. This was designed as literally the Flintstones in space. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, and that is exactly what it is. But does it work?
Now, I watched it when I was little, and I liked it.
What did you like about it when you were little?
I still like it.
Why? Defend. Why? Why do you like it? Why do you think it's good?
Well, it's fun. You get to see all the cool fantasy things that they thought in the 60s would be.
Well, they actually got quite a lot right, even from this very first episode. Widescreen TVs, 3D TV, interactive television.
Everybody having this pointing.
Electric toothbrushes.
I enjoyed that. Like, I enjoyed the early stuff and like the printing, like the foods, and the fact that they would use the tubes to go all over the planet, and it wasn't just. It was all very futuristic and idealistic of that sort of, especially the 50s sort of era. The fusion era.
I mean, when I was little, I didn't see the sexism, the racism, the nationalism, misogyny, everything. You don't see that. But obviously, if you get older, you do. But it was a cartoon from the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, was it?
Yeah. So when she makes jokes about, his trip to Serbia and not beating up the Russian boys, that's very 60s America.
It was the casual smoking in a children's television show that really caught my eye.
It was just smoking a cigar.
Yeah, smoking a cigar, and then there was a pipe. Still smoking.
Yeah, no, but they still do that in cartoons now.
No,
not
not kids' ones, not anymore.
But the thing is, this is more of a family show.
It is very much.
That's what annoyed me about it.
It's a sitcom. It's an American sitcom.
Painful American sitcom, especially this one. Like the Flintstones, I can tolerate, but that's what I don't like about it. That's what you got halfway through, and like I didn't mind it at the beginning, and I forgot there was a laugh track, and it was fine, and like I liked the different, especially because it's like the first episode, right? So they're introducing all the concepts and of all the cool techie stuff that they have, and the fact that George Jetson is literally Homer Simpson, like dad.
He really is.
And then so I get all of that, and then it just gets halfway through, and it's just a sitcom, but a really bad sitcom. And it's the jokes were funny in the first half, and in the second half, I hated them, and it was irritating me.
Right, Jeremy, I'm leaning towards Jeremy more than to disliking it more than liking it. So I want you to jump in at any point and defend this. That's your job in this episode.
Please do.
It was the laugh track. The laugh track was atrocious.
It was really bad.
It was really bad.
So you guys say that, but until you just mentioned it, didn't phase it.
Did you not notice it? Was, as soon as the very first one, it was like, oh, ugh. In fact, that's my fourth note.
I think it's the fact that it's really subtle. Like, nobody's going like, ha ha ha. They're all going like,
But I find, in this case especially, I find with laugh tracks is that they are trying to dictate the beats. They're trying to dictate the funny. So they'll say something funny, ha 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 ha. We move on to, but they've not said anything funny.
Well,
they're forcing the joke of it.
Some of the jokes were actually quite good, like especially in the beginning. But like as it got on, again, it's just like it wore me down. This was like 20 minutes, 25 minutes long. Which is longer than most of the stuff we do as well. And I was just done by the halfway point, like forcing the jokes on it.
I know this was the very first episode and they're establishing everything, but I think the problem I had with it is that it is you will find this plot in every single US sitcom.
Yep.
Nearly ever. Well, especially the 60s, moving into the 70s, is that somehow the boss is going to get invited to dinner, there'll be a calamity, and then someone will pull it out of the bag. And
it's not just American.
No,
you
but
get it in all soap operas. It is a standard.
They parried it in WandaVision.
Yeah, but it is used as a way to convey the setup, who they all are, where they are in the world. George's position within the company is always precarious, and it continues all the way through the series. He's just a push and butter. Button pusher. Literally, he is a button pusher. Same as, like you say, as Homer. I think Homer's a really good. In fact, Homer and Marge are really good comparisons. There's definitely the Simpsons.
Some inspiration, yeah, I think
the Flintstones and Jetsons.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's middle of the road. His boss is an ass. Everybody's a boss. Like that. And it also, it's so people can make comparisons to it. that middle, the average family can say, oh, well, the mums, back then stayed at home. If the fact that she didn't have a drink at 3:00 would normally have been in there. Although I was really shocked that she was 17 when she had Judy, because it kept saying she was 33.
Yep, and
Judy was 15.
Yeah,
and I was like,
wait, I didn't even trigger.
She was young.
He's
and
young.
George is he's older than her.
Yeah,
but again, that goes back to that very 60s sitcom
but
thing.
But it's a very 60s.
Yeah.
Look at the world anyway. I mean, a lot of things don't change in the future. It's just everything that they're doing and pushing buttons.
Yeah.
That's the redeeming feature for me, is the space stuff. It's the saucers, it's the food, or Rackomatic, or whatever it was called. It's not the robots, didn't like the robots, but it's that, the walkways everywhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't predict mobile phones though. But yeah, I think that's the saving grace.
They still had vinyls as well.
Yep, so do I.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. Yeah, I did pick up, as I said, all the sexist.
Did they need to make that robot sexy?
Well, that's it. The English one was old and frumpy with a huge arse.
Yeah.
The French one was
young
and hourglass, also with a huge arse, which he pointed out on both of them.
Which is a bit weird.
Yeah, but Jeremy probably wouldn't get the joke, but did you get the joke about where the English robot had been working? Mr. Chips.
Oh.
Yes. I did recognise the name. I'm not quite sure where it's from.
I didn't get that.
It's a story.
Right.
But there is a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye,
Mr.
Chips.
Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Yes.
That sounds
sorry. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
But it was more like the boss's wife protesting about the Martians to go home.
Yeah.
It's a bit of
bloody immigrants.
Xenophobia. Because when she said, "Oh, I'm pro-stin," I thought it was going to be a feminist thing.
In the 60s, don't be silly.
Well, that's when they started burning bras, dear. And then when she said, "Oh, well, I get to hold a sign that says Martians go home," I was like, "Oh, right, okay."
We're going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is the sitcom elements that really irritate me the most about the show, and the fact that this is it is a cliche story. It's fine because this came out in '62, so it wasn't a cliched story at that point. It's fine, but I could think of 1,000 better ways to write it than the way they did. That would be funnier, and for instance, they the whole situation with his boss going and then just calling him up, and I thought that was really dumb. And the fact that they had to get the maid back because she left, because she was upset, and it was just I didn't like it.
Because they couldn't afford to have her.
Yeah, I know,
so
no.
She had to,
but she was upset because she was leaving. Everyone was always all upset, and I was just like, okay, well, they're that upset. Is it really?
It's a robot.
Is this just going to end? It didn't lead anywhere, and it was very. I think the writing was a bit. Some of the jokes, like I said, especially in the beginning, were kind of funny when they introducing all the concepts, and playing on that. But some of them really fell flat for me, and I especially in the bit with his boss, and I just didn't like any of it. And nothing went wrong until she threw a pie on his head for some reason because she's a sassy robot, and it's just like. Yep.
And then he forgived her.
He forgived her because she made the best.
Yeah, I know.
Food ever.
I know. I got that, but it's just lame.
Instead of filing for assault.
Yeah, but you're looking at this with 60 years worth of evolution of TV and writing.
I'm not though, because I'm okay with the whole idea of it being this boss's storyline. They could have done it better, is my point, and I think even then they could have done it better. And I think they were just being lazy.
The Jetsons was really popular, so
it was very popular, but it wasn't.
Couldn't have been that bad.
It wasn't as popular as its contemporaries. Flintstones outstrips this, But I think that's part of the problem is this was supposed to be the Flintstones in space, but it turned out just to be the Flintstones in space. I'd rather just watch the Flintstones.
What irritates me slightly as well is that the Flintstones brings that whole family section lower down and keeps it more down to earth because they're all, I mean, it's dumb, but like they're all cavemen, so it's like very primitive. They have all like doesn't matter what, we're still a family at the end of the day. We have like to do everything, you know, like the crude sort of thing. They're all they're all cavemen, and then they have to. It's that sort of symbology by the fact that no matter what, they're still a family. Whereas if you look at the Jetsons, they have all this glamour, and it's basically just like glamorizing and trying to say that, oh, like America is amazing because we have all of this. Like all this access to technology, and this is the best way to live because you can do, like, you don't have to do anything, and like you can just get by and enjoy all of the amenities that the first world has to offer. Like and it's just, and it was a way of like just ignoring. It's really a horrible way of like escapism, I think, for you. And it's just like compared to the Flintstones, where it was real like with them, it's funny because they're cavemen doing the same thing, whereas this is like, everybody's just lazy. it
did
annoyed me.
It did make me think a little bit of Wall-E.
Yeah.
The fact that none of them are actually doing anything physical.
None of them are walking.
Nobody walks. Yeah, I wrote that down.
None of them are walking. They're sitting in the chairs. And I know Wall-E that's what it's picking up on. But none of them were, well, the boss, Danny DeVito, was the only one they were all, you know, physically fit and skinny.
Yeah.
Whereas they wouldn't be if none of them were doing anything. I mean, even if she's doing that as an exercise in the morning.
Yes.
But she does complain about being bigger than she used to be.
Oh, I think that's a marriage joke more than a.
No, she was, when Judy was saying about her tiny little swimming suit, and she said, I wish I was 30, and she was saying that they're her a 32. What's the name? 32.
Yeah, she said her measurements.
That's her measurement.
I think that's a joke.
So that's her
more on being middle-aged woman than it is being.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
And I found that joke a little. I'm not sure how many children, even in the 60s, would get that joke.
Oh, they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
No. I mean, this is a family show.
Yes, it is a sitcom. It is exactly what it is. Oh, and the stereotypical mother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just...
But like she and like the laziness of the robot store's name really irritated me. It's just like, rent a robot for a day store, and I was like, well, you couldn't come up with something funny. This is like this just out of the 50s where all those catchphrases were like, you know, like they used to have like a go-go car wash or something, you know, like something like it just annoys me. It's so lazy.
Well, this was the first program ever to be broadcast in colour on ABC TV in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, so it was quite colourful, I'll give them that. You're a car person, aren't you, Jeremy?
Yeah, relatively.
Ish.
Yeah.
So the design of the Jetsons flying car, whatever, if I'm
they call it a saucer.
That's it, yeah.
I have my doubts about this piece of trivia, but this claims it was inspired by the 1954 Ford concept car, the FX Atmos, which was notable for its all-glass bubble canopy, dashboard radar screen, and jet plane-like tail fins.
I've seen the concept art, yeah. Whether or not they looked at it before or just said after, but yeah.
Right, so I said that this ran from 1962 to 1987, which technically it did, but it didn't really. They released the first two series ran from 1962 to 1963, where it then went into heavy syndication for the next 20-odd years. Towards the end of 1987, the Hanna-Barbera and the powers that be then created a further 10 episodes, which were also put into syndication because they obviously saw a niche in the market and they went for it. Good luck them.
I mean, fair enough.
I wonder if the 10 in the 80s
were any different.
Were
That is a very
different.
good point, actually. Yes, I'd be curious to see if they...
I can't remember. I do remember watching newer ones.
They added characters. George ended up with an alien friend that he met on a field trip to Mars or something.
Oh yeah. That's
So
in the
yeah,
promotional
new characters, new
movies.
situations, new locations. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the Jetsons have sold out repeatedly.
You
So
shocked
you'll have seen them in advertising, yeah. They appeared in print ads for Electrosol dishwashers. They were the subject of collectible tins. Jane also appeared in coupons. They sold her likeness to appear on coupons for various
enough.
goods. Well, there's more. Hang on, I've got more. Radio Shack. In 1997, Radio Shack partnered with the Jetsons to promote its Sprint stores.
Mm.
They appeared in TV and print advertising, commercials. They also appeared on a bunch of prepaid calling cards. They've really sold the shit out of the Jetsons.
Mm. That doesn't surprise me. It seems like the perfect show to do that with.
Do you think the world's ready for more, the Jetsons?
The rest of the
Do you
world,
think it would just
yes,
get lost in the
me,
noise?
No.
Do you think it would just get lost in the noise, though? Because how many people nowadays will go, "Oh, the Jetsons, yeah, I want to watch some of that." But mind you, I said that about D'Artagnan, and
They made
they made a movie out of
Yeah,
that.
if they made a movie of the Jetsons, probably some people would be like, "Oh, let's go to the family and watch the Jetsons." Like it's the same as like the Flintstones or like Scooby-Doo movie. All Hanna-Barbera stuff. Like lots of people have fond childhood memories of them.
Well, in 2017, ABC ordered a pilot for a live action sitcom variant of the Jetsons.
Ew.
I don't know if it ever happened. I don't know what stage that production is in. They hired a guy called Gary Giannetti to write it. It was executive producers were all in place, so you never know.
This
It could be
sounds
coming to TV.
Terrible for 2017. I could see something like this in the 90s.
I'm hoping WandaVision just kind of like shot that in the face because WandaVision was better the Jetsons than anything else that came out of the 60s.
I need to watch WandaVision.
You not watched it?
No, I've not watched any of them.
Scandal. You should. It's really good.
You might not like it though.
Why?
might not
Because
like
I
it.
don't like the Jetsons.
Wow, because you've just slam dunked on all
I don't hate
sitcoms.
No, I don't hate sitcoms. I like Friends. I just don't like the real cheese. If it's taking the piss out of them, I'm totally down for that.
It is.
Yeah, then it's fine. Plus, it's Marvel.
So there are a number of TV movies.
Yeah.
There is Jetsons the movie, came out in 1990. You've got the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, 1987 film, straight to TV film. Rockin' with Judy Jetson. They appeared in Hanna-Barbera's 50th, a Yabba Dabba Doo celebration in 1989. There's also in 2017, which I still find bizarre that in 2017, this is probably what prompted the live-action sitcom. There was a movie released, direct-to-video, called The Jetsons and WWE Robo WrestleMania.
I was gonna say,
Who out there?
did they do like a Hanna-Barbera Smash Bros where they had everybody?
But who thought? Who would? Oh, do you know what the Jetsons need? It needs the Undertaker or a wrestler to come in. I don't know who's
Such a
the
weird
I don't know
mix.
any about wrestlers. It is such a weird mix.
It's not actually because Rosie the robot think she does wrestling.
Of course she
I
does.
remember.
She seems quite the sports person.
Still very strange.
It's still a strange movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 1990 movie, Jetsons the movie, that was supposed to end the franchise. That was supposed to be it. It was supposed to end there. It was supposed to tie up the cartoon.
Why didn't it?
Mainly because the majority of the core cast, like George O'Hanlon, Mel Blanc, and Dawes Butler, had died
I would have thought
in
so.
1988 and 1989. But obviously, someone in 2017 thought, "Nah, it's been long enough. Let's bring them back."
Capping on that nostalgia. Why
Oh,
live
well,
action?
yeah, I mean-
though? That just sounds.
I don't know.
It just sounds like you're just going to make the same sitcom that's been in place since the 1950s, but you're going to
Go on then.
In fact, same concept as well. So
Let's cast the live action the Jetsons.
do the job for
Who are
me.
we going to cast? Who are we going to cast as George Jetson?
Homer
The
Simpson.
slightly older, long-suffering father. No, you can't have another cartoon character. It's got to be a real person.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
No,
No, as much as I love Jeff Goldblum, I think he would just be too Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Ewan
McGregor.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe in full on Parks
Chris
and Rec
Traeger.
mode. Yeah, Chris Traeger.
That's a really weird mix.
Yes, it is. That's why. Okay, maybe not relevant. Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Ryan Reynolds, maybe.
No. No, I can't see him as George Jetson.
We need someone like,
He's not old enough.
yeah, who's like a middle-aged asshole. Who plays a middle-aged asshole in most things?
George's not an ass.
He's an
No,
ass.
he's not an asshole. He's just a.
He's a bit of an ass. I think he's
He's
not.
a bit of a wet lettuce.
He's a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's not an idiot like Homer. He's like, Homer's good-hearted. I think George is just an ass. He's just.
I think he's spoiled.
He's a grumpy old man.
All right. Jack Black.
No, I didn't thought about that.
I have to. All right. Can we cast Jack Black as Rosie the robot? Charles Dance.
There's no.
Charles Dance is too old.
He is too old. Tom Conti. Oh, Jim Broadbent.
No, these are all too old.
They're too old.
Nick Frost.
Huh?
No.
No, Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
Simon Pegg.
right.
Yeah.
Simon
Yeah.
Pegg.
Okay, I could do that. I could see that. Only because he played his dad in The Boys. I
Yeah.
could see
Did he?
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
All right, so Judy Jetson. Judy? Jane.
Jane.
Jane Jetson, the wife. Slightly younger than him.
Slightly younger than
I think at
Simon
least
Pegg.
10 years younger than him.
I can't think of anyone. I'm drawing a complete blank.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, right then.
Yeah.
It went on.
You know, she got
She got the
I
short.
was going to say Anna Friel or anybody like
Oh no. I was going to say Florence Pugh, but I was going to say her for the daughter, but she's slightly too old now.
Mm.
No, the daughter is any Bacchus
Miley
moron
Cyrus.
teenager from,
Oh.
from any of those. Billie Eilish. There you go.
Billie Eilish.
And then and Elroy can be a potato.
Hato.
A potato. It's just a little spud that's there.
Maybe a little spud. No, who's
Oh, his voice.
who plays the Milky Bar
Just go back to the me when I was young.
Macaulay Culkin when he was young can play.
Macaulay Culkin, yeah. We'll cast
No,
a young
nowadays
Macaulay
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, and no, they're going to act like he's 6.5, but no one's going to mention the fact that he's like,
Yeah.
he's like
But he's got a
5'8",
mustache and like a
Actually-
he looks like that.
You're saying that, but Macaulay Culkin could be quite good as George.
maybe,
Because he's like that. He's quite... Yeah.
maybe is he? I don't know if he's old enough. I mean, he is old enough,
He's
but I don't know if
just
he looks
turned
old enough.
40.
Yeah, he's. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You do that amount of drugs and...
Wait,
Just
maybe
for
David Spade should play.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be fun.
he already answered the boss. Is Danny DeVito?
Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
He just has to.
Danny
but
DeVito,
like,
oh, yeah.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Danny DeVito. Like, because he looks exactly the
Yeah.
right.
slightly mad hair.
Yeah, with the glasses.
Well, the Jetsons is not without its controversy.
Oh, you
In
shocked me.
1963, yeah, no, actors Maury Amsterdam and Pat Carroll, they each filed $12,000 lawsuits against Hanna-Barbera for breach of contract, claiming that they'd been cast and signed to the roles of George Jetson and Jane Jetson, respectively. The contract stipulated they would be paid $500 an episode, which was quite a lot of money in 1962, with a guarantee of 24 episodes. They recorded one episode each before being replaced.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
Yep. Yeah. There were some claims that the change had been made as a result of conflict between, like, sponsor conflicts, because Maury Amsterdam he was on several different shows at the same time, all sponsored by different people. and the sponsors didn't like it. So there's some arguments that one of the sponsors objected. The case was closed in 1965, but it was never disclosed who won the case. But it is heavily believed that Hanna-Barbera just threw money at it until it went away.
Yeah, probably.
So I never expected some legal problems with the Jetsons, of all things.
Yeah.
If you had to put a number, Jeremy, on how many video games the Jetsons have inspired, give me a number.
5, 4.
Yeah, more.
5. 7.
More.
12.
10.
No.
There have been 10 Jetsons video games, and I apologise, I'm going to tell you all of them right now.
Go on.
So you've got The Jetsons Ways with Words by Intellivision in 1984. The Jetsons, George Jetson, The Legend of Robotopia from the Amiga in 1990. The Jetsons by George in Trouble Again, a DOS game from 1990. The Jetsons, the computer game on the 64, ZX Spectrum, and CPC, and the Amiga in 91. The Jetsons, Cogswell's Caper on the NES in 92. The Jetsons, Robot Panic on the Game Boy in 92. The Jetsons, Mealtime Malfunction for the Apple on 93. The Jetsons, Space Race, part of Hanna-Barbera's Cartoon Carnival, on Interactive CD, Macintosh and Windows 3.0 in 95. Jetsons, Invasion of the Planet Pirates for the Super NES in 94. And the Flintstones, Jetsons, Time Warp, another interactive CD-ROM in 94.
Only up until 94.
Really milk that. Yeah, I couldn't find anything after. I'm sure there might be. I think that's where they kind of gave up and realised that no one was really interested in the Jetsons.
Missing a treat to do Hanna-Barbera Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, smash
Hanna-Barbera go-karting.
That would be cool. See, I'd like that.
Because then you get Scooby-Doo in a car.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. Get George Jetson on his on his saucer. You get the Flintstones one. That would just make so much sense.
I'm down with that. And then, of course, the Jetsons, like every other cartoon franchise from the 60s, it's been around so long, it's been slapped on everything. Board games, clothing, bed sheets, decorative pillow covers, toothbrushes, you name it, it's been Jetsons. So we didn't talk about the opening credits.
Yes.
As we normally do. How did you... Jeremy, I always ask you first. How did you feel about the opening credits?
It's really annoying because I want to hate it. But...
You want to hate it or you do hate it?
A bit of both. Because, I don't actually want to hate it. I mean, I don't actually hate the song. And it's kind of cool, the intro, like... It's just really simple, really short. There's not much to it. However, what they do... Like the like the voices when they say like meet George Jetson, the vocal harmonies they have in that bit are amazing. Like they're really harmonic and they're really in point, and you know that they can't go through and computer change their tone or anything like that. That is like 100% like, you know, like it's barbershop style, you know, it's like the 50s sort of the backing singers, but it's really good. And it sounds amazing.
I was surprised how I liked. I had no problem with the voiceover. That was good. This is this guy. This is Joe.
I think it's cool.
It was just so short. I was expecting something.
The rest of it was
longer.
Apart from the intro, like when they're talking and stuff, is really bad. Like there's nothing to it except for the voices, and it's just like, it kind of lets it down a bit. Gonna make it more interesting.
Yeah, we had to wait till the end to get some actual Jetsons music, which is why I don't know if we were doing it when we did our pre-show. I was humming the Simpsons theme tune because that's what's stuck in my head. That's what it sounds like to me.
It's pretty similar.
It really is.
I was going to say, if I say me George Jetson, and then it's like
musically, I think they use slightly different techniques, but yeah, it does sound, it's very reminiscent.
Oh yeah,
and I feel like is there no trivia on The Simpsons being inspired by at least the Jetsons?
I don't know.
I would assume
very probably.
I think it's probably well known that they're inspired by the early Hanna-Barbera, like the sitcom style cartoons. But I don't know if it's like directly the Jetsons.
The Simpsons kind of lifts from everywhere.
Yeah,
because it lifts from every single American sitcom.
Yeah.
It lifts from the Flintstones. It does. I guarantee it lifts from the Jetsons. The Simpsons casts a wide net,
But I'm thinking,
which is probably why it's been successful for 30 odd years.
like designs and stuff. Like Homer wears the same colours as George Jetson and has that
Yes,
beard
yes.
as well, like that he has, and it's just similar.
Groening and is Matt Groening and who's the other person?
I can't remember his name. I'll find out. Dave.
They would have grown up with that.
Yes.
So that, Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably
all of those. So it would have stuck as making a cartoon. It would have stuck in their head what was popular, what they liked as a kid. But Simpsons is the same. It's not a kids' cartoon. It's a family show.
This might make you laugh. The character George Jetson was ranked number 4 in the US TV Guide's list of the 25 greatest sci-fi legends. Really? George Jetson. It annoyed me when I first read that. It's just annoyed me reading that again.
Stupid.
Jones the cat from Aliens is better than George Jetson.
Yes, he is.
And then in a little teaching moment, you might know this already. The style of architecture and furnishings in the worlds of the Jetsons has a name. It's called Googie or Googie. Googie, I think. It was a post-World War II period to capture the sense of progress of the jet, atomic, and space ages. So real-world examples include the Space Needle in Seattle. No. Lots of classic installations in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
And the Pan Am Worldport at JFK International. Yeah, so it's the flared wings, it's the futuristic styling, it's the chrome, it's the... I do as well. It actually fell out of style in the early 1970s as they started going towards a more flowery, colourful. Yeah,
it will do. Yeah,
so it's called Googie. That's the architectural style. Or Googie. I'm sorry, can someone tell me how to pronounce that properly?
Googie.
Googie. Yeah, I kept reading Google.
It just comes up with Google. But yeah, I mean, I looked at their house and I was like, that looks like a Las Vegas hotel. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, well,
like, and then I saw the Space Needle, as you said that.
That reminds me. What did you think of the animation itself, so the character movement and the backgrounds? Because I always have attempted to look at the backgrounds as separate from the animation. So, as a fan, Jennifer, how did you feel? Was it? I suppose we grew up with the Jetsons and animation like this. So, did it stand out to you in any way, or was it just?
It's hard because the style of animation is typical Hanna-Barbera.
Barbera. Yep.
Barbera. But because it is the style is, that atomic, futuristic, it does stand out to me. I'm always looking at all the cool stuff in the background to see if there's anything else.
I had no problem with the animation. It was fine. It was obvious time. It was what we grew up with. It was fine. I did you say looking in the background for looking at all the cool stuff, but apart from a few big shots of like buildings on the impossibly thin things, which were cool, I like that kind of stuff. But when they're in the house and everything, the backgrounds are really quite bland. There wasn't a lot going on back there, and I don't know.
Stark.
Yes. So was it supposed to be a nod towards like a futuristic, clean kind of like setting, or was it just laziness? Yeah,
and also there's no photos of the family, and there's no pot plants or anything.
Yeah,
it's like a show home. There's nothing personal in it.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know if that's just for ease of animation or if it's a nod to.
I think it's
the very clean style of Googie or Gucci, whatever it is.
I don't think it is. I think it's more. It was cheaper. Not to put all that, because you got to think that's a lot more detail. Whereas the backgrounds were constantly reused. I mean, they reused quite a lot of shots as well, so it was cheap to make. I think that's why it's like that.
Okay, so I already know what Jeremy's going to say, But would you recommend the Jetsons to anyone? Jeremy?
Me? Yeah, actually. The thing is, I don't...
Oh, whoa, okay.
I don't think it's something everybody will hate. That's the thing. I just hate it. and the thing is, if you just take it at face value and appreciate the fact that it was written in the 60s, and it can get annoying and it can be long. If you want something, I'd say historical, like something that would be an inspiration for The Simpsons, and you've never watched it somehow, then then sure, watch it occasionally. But
I think you're right. It was overlong. You could have wrapped it, so you could have lopped 10 minutes off this and wrapped it up a lot quicker.
I would not recommend it to like my friends. Just
so this isn't a have a drink and watch one like Beverly Hills
Samurai
10.
Pizza Cats.
Jennifer, would you recommend it? Having rewatched it now and listened to us disparage it, would you recommend it?
Yeah, because I still like it. You guys are wrong. Yeah, I mean, for a bit of fun, just a cartoon. You know, if they like Flintstones, if they like The Simpsons, and they want to see something different, then yeah.
Yeah, I suppose I would have no problem recommending it. If someone, can my kid watch this? Yeah, of course, of course
exactly.
It is about as it's bland.
Well, they're saying that
it's the Magnolia.
There are a lot of like offhand comments in this that parents probably wouldn't want their children hearing nowadays. I think.
I was going to say there's some outdated
is the best word.
Themes. I mean, I think it'd be right for little ones because of the bright colours and the funny sounds. But when you're getting maybe a little bit older, they're starting to feed off what you're showing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the mother that sits at home and does nothing but press a button. But then the dad goes to work and presses buttons.
That's literally my job.
That's it.
Yeah, that's weirdly accurate, isn't it?
Although I do need a husband ejector. I want one of those.
I think you need one of those as well.
I thought that was excellent. Toast.
Yeah, toast.
I was like, nice. Of course, when it came together, and I was like,
it's a toaster.
Yeah, it's a toaster. But I was like, that's some big bread.
Big bread.
It's Googie.
Googie. Okay, that's fair enough. I think I prefer that to Googie. Okay, so Jeremy, rate this show out of
Do I have
10, please. You really have 10.
3.4.
You're contracted. Okay, 3.4. That sounded reluctantly dragged from you.
I just I've said my piece.
Shall I go for no? Knowing my score's not going to be very high, do we finish on a high note and then go to Jennifer?
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it. So I gave it less than you.
Oh,
I gave it a 2.
It's harsh.
Because it's really all right. There's a lot that annoyed me. There wasn't a lot that engaged me. I didn't find any of the jokes funny. It was just really.
I think you've just
bland.
been Henry about this one, though.
I didn't enjoy it. Possible. It's entirely possible. I as someone who is Henry, I can only be that way. So I'm sorry, but it got a 2. Jennifer, do you want to drag the average back up now?
Yeah, it's going to have 6. And it's only so low because some of the themes are a bit outdated and it's a bit sexist. And yeah. Okay,
so that gives the Jetsons an official serial viewing rating of 3.8.
Still harsh.
You just didn't love it hard enough, Jennifer. That's what it was. It's your fault.
It's still higher than that crap we watched last week.
Yes. They got like 1.
Oh, yeah. Beverly Hills Teens. 1.3. That's 1.3.
What did Where's Or Gummidge get?
1.9, I believe.
That's all right.
3's not that bad in serial viewing standards.
No. There's nothing wrong with 3.
It's nearly 4. Didn't you say 3.8?
Yeah.
Nearly 4.
So, that was the Jetsons. Do you disagree with myself and Jeremy, or do you agree with Jennifer? Let us know what you think. I know that was the same thing. Okay, basically, if you agree with, if you're right and you agree with us, let us know.
Any of us.
If you'd like to disagree with Jennifer, then also let us know. It's the usual channels. You can serialviewing@gmail.com. You can email us directly. We've got a contact form on our website. You can leave us a voicemail and we will play you on the show. Instagram, Facebook, all those good places. So our next episode is one of my choices, and I'm going to apologise now because we will be watching The Littlest Hobo. An 80s, late 70s, 80s? It must be 80s. American classic, The Littlest Hobo.
Have you watched it before, Jez?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
All right, okay.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to talk about it. You can go into it really cold. Don't look it up. I'll send you look at it when I send you the episode.
It's going to be one of those episodes.
Yeah. If you out there have watched it, if you've got any opinions on The Littlest Hobo and you'd like to educate Jeremy, please let us know and I will pass them on. Some hints. Let's put it this way. I loathed the show. At no point in my life did I ever like the show.
I only watched it because I was too lazy to get up and walk.
That is very often
the channel.
Yes.
And there was that or Grandstand.
Match of the day. No.
Match of the day.
Match of the day.
Anyway, so catch us for our next episode, The Littlest Hobo. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, you're just welcome.
Thank you. And thank you, Jennifer, for elevating the score there a little bit.
Well, someone's got to do it. All right, guys, thank you very much. Catch us out next time. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Layers.
Meet George Jetson. His boy Elroy.